Red Dirt Roots is sponsored by Heisel Brothers for all your equipment needs. Buck Certified XO Mix, the best deer attractant. G&H Decoys, American made, right here in Oklahoma. When we were young and growing up in the outdoors, we weren't dreaming about trophy racks and record books. We were just dreaming about adventures.
Being a real bad boy. I've got a ton of gravel in my shoes, world on my shoulders, a heart full of blues out in the dirt, down in the dirt. I've been a real bad boy on the town all night, starting to calm down with the morning light. I'm in the dirt, down in the dirt. Down in the dirt.
Everybody, on today's episode of Red Dirt Roots Outdoor TV, I have the privilege of taking 3 boys out hunting in northwest Oklahoma for some turkey, some Oklahoma gobblers. Man, what a fun time. Y'all stay tuned. Let's have some fun.
Well, this is a Mahindra rock sword. .5 liter turbo diesel in it. 4-wheel drive. Timeless design and rugged durability.
Come on, head down, raised on a dirty road. Grew up with doing what my daddy told. Sipping from a jar, swimming in a water hole. Living this hick life, wild as a rodeo. Hick life, raised on a dirty road. Grew up with doing what my daddy told. Sipping that jar, swimming that water hole. Living this hick life, wild like a rodeo.
Do you want to take your boat to the next level? AutoFX and El Reno can do it. AutoFX of El Reno designed and fabricated this fully submersible LED light rail for the bottom of this boat trailer, not only making it look like one of a kind, but also easy to lift. AutoFX El Reno, they can take it to the next level.
So it's Bird Dog and I here on a spy mission where tomorrow is youth turkey season in the state of Oklahoma, and we're out just kind of scouting. We did just see a really big gobbler walk in front of us. He got within about 100 yards or so, and then the cows kind of scared him off. But they scared him back into where we're going to set up tomorrow, so things are looking pretty good for us right now. But that's a very promising sign to see that big bad boy, so looking forward to our hunt tomorrow. Excited?
Yeah. I don't know why that's a question.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up. You know, I didn't really hunt much when I was a kid for one reason or another. I was always finding something else to do, I guess. It just wasn't something that was a part of my life. And once it became a part of my life before I was a father, I knew that when I did have kids, that was something I wanted to enjoy with my kids in the outdoors. After sitting in the blind for about an hour and a half, we started to hear a group of gobblers off in the distance. You know, at this point we were really confident that those gobblers were going to come in, but follow us as we hit the sequence of gobbles over the next 30 minutes.
problem here was they were right on us, but they were behind us. And behind us was a group of trees that we couldn't see through. So over the next 30 minutes, we couldn't tell whether they were coming, going, what was going on. We didn't know whether to call or not call. We just kind of sat tight and listened to them and hoped that they would eventually come in. Finally, I did get a visual on them to our left out the little window in the blind, but as you can see by the footage, there were trees in the way and Logan just could not get the sight line to get a shot off on any of the gobblers. I think when I started to see him walk away, I got a little excited and started hitting the call just way too much, to be honest with you, for this early in the season. If I'm not mistaken, then that probably scared the birds off. Well, after the birds were walking off, Logan decided that he wanted to go ahead and go by foot and try to chase them down. And as most of you have been out in the turkey woods and tried to get in behind a turkey would think and imagine, it didn't end up well for us. Well, after that being unsuccessful, we resituated the decoys and settled in to finish the hunt.
So it's the first day of youth turkey in Oklahoma, and Logan and I headed up to a property in northwest Oklahoma. Got in the stand right about time, set up, and a pop-up line. We had the Jake decoy and a hen out front, and to be honest with you, real early on, they weren't really responding at all to the calls. So we laid back a little bit on the calls, and after about 2 hours or so, where we heard them the whole time, we heard groups of gobblers around us. And after about 2 hours of just being silent, I just heard another group.
They're getting closer.
We had 3 gobblers land behind us, like 20 yards behind us. They flew in and landed behind us. I started hitting the call, and they were responding left and right. But for some reason, they could not find the decoy. So Logan got his gun turned around to where he could have shot one, but there was no way I could get the camera turned. So we kept trying to call them, and they walked off the opposite direction because the wind was blowing that way. And so we struck at that time. But man, what an awesome experience, because they were right there, man. I was heart pumping because they were right there on us, and we now know why they have the name Thunder Chickens. So started off the morning. They said it was supposed to be around 40 degrees, and it was 22 degrees. So we were a little underprepared and a little cold, but it's warming up now, and we just heard another group around us. We're going to stay out here till about 1 or 2 and then head in, so wish us luck.
Youth turkey didn't produce, so fast forward to spring turkey season in the state of Oklahoma.
I start my kids off by taking them into the turkey woods and take them turkey hunting, and so I've done this year after year, and my son's been blessed enough that he's even killed a unofficial state record for weight of turkey in the state of Oklahoma. So it was time to now start getting some of his friends into the sport. And again, the best way to do that is to get 3 or 4 boys out, and we camp, and we stay a couple of days and camp out in tents and just have a fun time.
So I headed to the turkey woods Friday morning. I started the morning off by myself, so I went ahead and I showed up a little bit late, so I popped up the tent and grabbed up my stuff and headed out to my blind where I was going to be able to hunt by myself that morning, and then Jeff and Jacob would be joining me that evening.
So I was the first to show up, and I got there on a Friday. Season was already started, and on that Friday I was hunting by myself. I was kind of scouting, but I also had my bow in hand. It's been a long time since I've taken a turkey with my bow, so I was just wanting to get one.
Judging by what showed up after I hit the call a couple times, I wasn't hitting the right call. After hitting the call a few times, a group of jakes really keyed in on the decoy and started to make their move in. You know, that morning all I had on me was my bow, and seeing as how I hadn't had a bow kill on turkey in a few years, I picked out one of the birds that was older and decided to go after it. Boy, those birds tried to charm the lady there with their dance. It went on for quite some time as they made their way towards the decoy, until finally one of them got a little bit too close and knocked her off her post. Once I saw that they were spooked a little bit, I knew it was time to draw the bow and let the muzzy fly.
Now, unfortunately, those of you that have been in the camera industry or have ever been behind a camera, when you're self-filming, it's difficult to get everything set up properly and get everything set up right. And unfortunately, this hunt was no different. So the jakes come in and they position themselves just perfectly, and I take a shot at one, and boom, I nailed it. And I waited a little bit. I went out there, found my arrow. My arrow had blood on it. There were feathers everywhere. But I trailed it, or tracked the blood trail for about 100 yards, and to be honest with you, I couldn't find the bird. And a turkey that's hit hard, you know, isn't going to go that far. So I went ahead and went back into the blind, and I rewound the footage and looked at the footage, and unfortunately, while I was looking at the footage, a gobbler gobbled, and I went ahead, and while I was watching the footage, I had to get the camera set up real quick. And unfortunately, I hit record right at that moment when the arrow penetrates the turkey. So that basically concluded my afternoon hunt, and I decided to head back. It was probably about 2 o'clock. My buddy Jeff and his son Jacob were joining me that night.
Well, this is a Mahindra rock saw. 2.5 liter turbo diesel in it. 4-wheel drive. Timeless design and rugged durability.
My name is Steve Cook. I'm the manager at Cook Feed and Outdoor. We have a feed store in Northeast Oklahoma City and another one in Yukon. We've begun to have a new delivery system. We have a route truck that runs on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the surrounding areas. So what we'll do is customers will either call into the store, or they'll come into the store personally, or we have a new number that you can actually text. So when customers send an order, what we'll do is we'll start to pack that order on the inside with any wormer or supplements or anything like that that they might need. Take it out to the warehouse and get that order completely packed up and shrink wrapped up together. From there, we'll take that order and load it onto the truck. On the truck, we have a new machine that attaches to the back of it. So when we take the order to the customer's farm, we can actually take that machine off and set the pallets or feed or hay or shavings wherever the customer needs us to put them. The delivery route truck runs on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and it's $20 for a delivery to your place within 20 miles from the store. If you have any questions, we're usually on Facebook Messenger. You can send us a message there or call us at either location in Oklahoma City or Yukon.
Hey guys, Kenny Hill at a Bass Nation seminar event. This time of year, low and slow is a really good way to go. Chatterbaits are excellent this time of year in cold water. This one is a 3/4 ounce, which allows you to go a little bit deeper and a little bit slower and follow the contour of the bottom a little better. I put a Zoom Super Fluke on the back, and it will imitate a big old shad and catch a lot of big fish.
Hello, I'm Sean Goodwin, and I want to give you a quick tip on how to catch more fish here in the springtime. We're February right now, getting ready to come into March. The best thing I can tell you is when choosing colors in springtime, look for baits that have red on them. It's just a huge difference. It makes a huge difference when you're fishing. You know, here's an example: a rattling type bait, red, and this is a spinner bait, has a red kicker blade and a red head. Very, very important. Red is really a triggering color for fish in the spring. I believe it's because of the color of the crawfish and really keying in on that. And I've seen that many, many times that red addition of red to your bait will catch you a lot more fish in an early February, March, April time frame.
Now, those of you that have teenage boys, you know you can keep them calm and still for about all of like a minute, minute and a half, and that's it. So I was looking forward to these two cutting up, Jacob and Logan in the blind together. They've been friends a long time, and I don't think they can have a serious conversation or a serious face, period. And that's what I love about them, is that they're always in for a good time. So they didn't wait long. Right off the bat, they started cutting up.
Hey, Bubba.
Hey.
What are you doing?
Just, cooling off.
Is this how you do it in the turkey blind? You bring your fan, huh?
2015.
You're a big fan. Jacob, do you have a fan?
No.
You don't have a fan?
No. I wish
No?
I did, though.
Huh?
I wish I did.
You got snacks?
Yeah.
You
I got
got-
nerds.
You got nerds? and a new backpacking?
Yeah.
Alright,
It's in there.
so Logan, can you lean in there? Jacob, lean in. Alright, boys.
Hey.
So we are the first weekend of turkey season in Oklahoma. I hunted this morning by myself and saw 12 jakes. Shot one with my bow.
Why would you shoot me?
Now it's y'all's turn. That's Jake right there.
Yeah, hi.
Jacob may have just gotten a nickname. Turkey. Or Gobbler. Tom.
Tom.
Alright, boys. Thumbs up.
Alright, let's go.
Come on, TC. It's an epic fail. Just supposed to just sit there.
Keep doing it. No.
Got excited.
After about 5 minutes or so, the boys and I had finally settled down in the pop-up blind, and it wasn't but a couple minutes after that we heard a shotgun go off about 300 yards to our right, where Jeff was set up by himself in a pop-up blind. It sounded close, but I thought maybe the neighbor had shot or something. I didn't know, because I figured Jeff was still walking to his blind, and
before the butt crack of dawn. I got my real tree camo and scent block on. My kids right beside me in my tree stand, clutching that 243 from my old man. Those rectangles take me where I wanna go to my camo double.
After a little bit, I see Jeff holding up a turkey, and sure enough, he had nailed one. So.
Without these red dirt roots.
Well, it wasn't too long after Jeff showed us his bird that on our side of the property, a couple birds started to come in. Well, it just so happens that this was Jacob's first opportunity at a turkey, so we went with it. You know, the hard part here was all morning long today and even the day before, the birds would come to the fence line, which was about 10-15 yards away from the decoys, and they would just sit there. They'd strut and they'd get their fans out and they'd show off, but they just wouldn't come in. But finally, after waiting for a bit, the jakes decided to cross the fence line and come to our side of the property, and it was on. As you can tell, we let the birds get across us, so we had a horrible angle. So we had to quickly get Jacob set up so we could get the shot off.
Which one? Left or right? You're aiming at the head, right? Get to where you're ready. Logan, cover your ears. Hold on. Hold on, Jake. Wait for the head up and then you can pull. Go. Hold on. No. He missed.
That's right.
He missed him.
That's all. Oh my God. That's right. Hey. That was all right. How did it not run away in the first place?
They don't know what happened.
He's gone. I literally just waved.
You know, I still have no clue how that kid missed that bird. The footage looked good. The shot looked good. You're at 5 yards. The barrel of the shotgun is sticking in the beak of the bird, and you know it was just dumb luck that I guess it was Jedi mind tricks. The Matrix was going on. I don't know, but that bird somehow dodged every single pellet flying his way and flew off. There was no blood, no anything. There were just a couple feathers, and that was it. So.
Did you hit it?
Oh wait.
Just hit record. It'll say record.
Does it say REZ?
Yes.
Go.
Okay, so we're rolling and go. All right, so it's the end of night one of our weekend turkey hunt and getaway with the boys. And Jeff here tagged out within like 10 minutes of getting in the blind. Well, he got one. He still has one more to go. We were covered up in them, man. This one came in quietly, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Tell me what happened.
I no sooner got sat down in the blind, looked up, made sure the camera was on, looked over to my left, thought it was a decoy, didn't think much about it, and then it
Thought I
started
put
moving.
a decoy out.
Yeah, and
thought I pulled a joke on him and put a decoy out while he wasn't looking.
Came right at the decoy and pulled the trigger and put it down.
Knocked it down. Good. And then as soon as it was down, we heard gobblers, jakes, everywhere. They were all over us. So unfortunately, Jacob missed a jake this evening, but it's a lesson. That's his first shot at one, so he learned a lesson tonight. But we know where they're roosted. We know that there are probably 4 or 5 groups that I heard gobblers.
Oh yeah.
And there's one group of around 15 to 20 jakes. So we're gonna go move some blinds and get set up for in the morning and get going. So hey, nice job, man.
Thanks, sir.
Way to hit it. Looking forward to tomorrow. Well, the next morning, the boys and I went to a back area of that property where we had gotten the runaround a couple times before from a group of gobblers that were just a little bit smarter than we were. And this time was no different than the rest. We called, they gobbled, we saw them, they stayed out of sight, and then the rains came. Second day, and unfortunately when we were out in the blinds for about an hour and a half, and then a big weather system came in and it just started to pour. So we hunkered down in the enclosed trailer, and we've been here for the last couple hours. This morning was a very, very good hunt. We had big gobblers, 5 of them to our left, but again, they're just not coming fully in. They're not really committing. They're just listening and checking, and that's it. So we only had the hen decoy out, but we ended up this morning in an hour and a half seeing 5 longbeards and 2 jakes. So
It's starting to let up now. We're going to head back out. It's approaching noon. So we're going to head back out and go ahead and hunt the rest of the afternoon. We've got a few more boys showing up. So hang with us. We'll see what happens. Wait, so you can see. So we can see your face. There's a McLean. There's a Mike. Wave.
Hey.
McLean, you ready for your first experience?
Sort of.
Sort of?
Nervous.
Like I said, Jacob missed yesterday. It's fine.
Yeah.
It happens. Ain't no thing.
Wouldn't be a
Hey,
sport if you got it every single time.
can I at least get a thumbs up? There it is.
For more red dirt?
We're rolling. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
We're out here in western Oklahoma. We are on the last day of our hunt, our 10th hunt, hunting for turkey. We've got a couple first timers here. I don't know, Mike, have you ever gone turkey hunting before?
Yesterday was the first time.
Okay.
So.
Okay. So still first timers for the weekend. We got McLean Wave, and we got Mike over here. The Irbies have joined the fan club. We've got another group of hunters, probably about 300 yards to our north and to our east. It's very, very windy. How'd y'all sleep last night?
I slept fine.
Fantastic.
Where did y'all sleep last night?
In the car.
Actually in the tent and then in the car.
Yeah. We had some storms roll through. It was pretty rainy yesterday, so it's windy today. And we're just hoping that the birds decide to move. We're not going to be able to hear anything really or call, so we're just going to sit tight and see what happens. Let's get a thumbs up from both of y'all. Get in tight. Get in tight. Let's see the faces. Well, that's how that hunt ended. I think because of the storms the night before, which were pretty severe, and the combination of that and the high winds that morning, the birds just stayed locked down, and we were kind of beat and tired, so we decided to pack it up and pack it in and head out. I think the boys had a blast. We had a great time around the campfire at night, and honestly, putting up the tent, sleeping in the tent, and partially sleeping in the tent and some in the car. I think this is just a memory that the boys will never forget. And again, it's another hunt with kids and with friends that I don't think I'll ever forget.
Food on the table, it's what I do. Stocking game like a Chickasaw hunter used to. Living off the land is my gift from God. Packing heat with my rifle, all my fishing around. It's the red dirt roots in me. I'm as backwoods as I can be. I say yes, sir.
Red Dirt Roots is sponsored by Heiselbreder for all your equipment needs. Bug Certified XO Mix, the best deer attractor. GNH Decoys, American made, right here in Oklahoma.